No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walk the mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win, applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, applied myself.
Welcome back to CTC. I'm your gracious host, Carl, and I'm back here to give y'all Saturday previews like I said I would. Also, I'm hitting y'all with the Friday recaps. So please leave a like, comment, subscribe if you like the content on this show, on this network. We just had the Joe Jordan show go live. Great show. Shout out to Joe. Talked about the Kings beating the Spurs last night. How, he'll give you the recap on everything. I ain't going to steal his thunder. But the Kings did beat the Spurs. I don't know if I just said the Spurs beat the Kings, but the Kings did beat the Spurs. So shout out to the Kings. If you like the content on the main show featuring Joe, Tomo, and Dave, like the content on BWT, Baseball with Teddy, FFC Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs, Real Ballers Only, RBO, Dave's Doghouse, and in the red corner, like, comment, subscribe, share, and go down the rabbit hole. If you like what you're listening to, just stick with us. So for this morning, we do got to recap two blowout games. First one being USF 21 at UTSA 49. It was senior night for Frank Harris and the Meeps, the Roadrunners. The Roadrunners are currently still on top of the Conference USA, undefeated in Conference USA. They played Tulane on Black Friday. That game will ultimately, it will probably determine who's going to the American if they both don't go. But UTSA had a hell of a night last night. USF starts with a 16-yard Naquan Wright touchdown run set up by Sean Atkins 24-yard catch. Then UTSA will start with his own touchdown, 30-yard touchdown pass to Devin McEwen. UTSA would then turn the ball over on downs, 4th and 3. Frank Harris runs a quarterback draw, it loses 2 yards. It leads to a 50-yard Yusuf Terry touchdown catch. Then UTSA will answer with Tyke Ogu Kellogg, 33-yard touchdown catch set up by Devin McEwen, 2 catches for 29 yards. Now, I did talk about Ogu Kellogg last night, and I talked about him being a good one-on-one ball receiver, but this one wasn't one-on-one, just open space. Beat the defense to the end zone, but he did get hurt on this play. Then UTSA would score a 64-yard touchdown pass to Josh Cephas, UTSA's best receiver. Then with 4:15 left in the second quarter, USF will have a turnover on downs, 4th and 4. Byron Brown throws a pick, but it would lead to a UTSA turnover on downs, 4th and 2. Josh Cephas, they tried to run like a tunnel screen. It got blown up. Got the ball at the line of scrimmage, ain't going nowhere. That would lead to a USF punt, and then UTSA would score a 15-yard Frank Harris touchdown run set up by David Amador, 25-yard catch. Now, I did say yesterday that Frank Harris will have to establish the run with his legs, and he had a night last night. He's for sure going to be on major performances. I won't give you a stat line because you'll get it tomorrow with major performances, but he had a night. Then UTSA starts the second half with a 40-yard Frank Harris touchdown run. So he adds on to the rushing total. USF will start with a punt with 5:14 left in the third quarter. UTSA scores a 2-yard Robert Henry touchdown run set up by Josh Cephas' 28-yard catch. USF would answer with a 5-yard Byron Brown touchdown run set up by Sean Atkins' 25-yard catch, and that'd be it for USF. With 13:49 left in the fourth quarter, UTSA's Frank Harris would run it in from 25 yards out. So that's 3 touchdowns on the ground for Frank Harris. David Amador had a 23-yard run. USF's Byron Brown would throw a pick, which would lead to a punt, and then USF turnover on downs, 4th and 3, passes incomplete. leads to the end of the game. Like I said, UTSA on senior night just had a phenomenal game, still undefeated in the American Conference. One game away from its third consecutive conference championship appearance, 2 conference championships in Conference USA last year and the year before last. Moved to the American, and it looks like nothing's changing. UTSA is still dominating the conference. UTSA is having an amazing run with Jeff Traylor. Jeff Traylor is a candidate to look out for in the Texas A&M job opening, and you can see why. Completely turned around UTSA. He's gotten UTSA to be one of the premier Group of 5 schools in the country. So shout out to them. It's going to be tough. UTSA and Tulane is going to be a good game to watch for sure. So if you got time to be in front of your TV, grab your popcorn, grab your snacks, grab your drinks, and get ready for a show. So we got to move on, though, to Colorado at Washington State. And, man, the Colorado – oh, my God. I got to charge my laptop in a second. Man, the Colorado – get smacked. Final score, Colorado 14, Washington State 56. So I picked UTSA to win that game. This game I did pick Colorado, I almost lied. I picked Colorado to win this game, and boy, was I wrong. Washington State jumped out on Colorado and never looked back in this game. It was a blowout from start to finish. Shedeur did get hurt, but he came back. But Washington State just dominated this entire game. There's nothing really too much to say. I tracked it for the first half. Second half, I'm not going to lie, I went to sleep. I was like, I'm not watching the second half of this game. So for the first half, Colorado starts with a 3-and-out punt. Washington State starts with a 15-yard Lincoln Victor touchdown run, set up by a Lincoln Victor 15-yard catch. Then Colorado, Shedeur Sanders will get stripped. He fumbles. Brennan Jackson picks it up and runs it 38 yards for his first fumble return touchdown. Yes, his first. Then Shedeur Sanders, then with 56 seconds left in the first quarter, Colorado scores a 45-yard touchdown pass to Travis Hunter. Washington State responds with the kickoff. So then after the Travis Hunter touchdown, that's right. So after this Travis Hunter touchdown, on the next play, the kickoff, Leighton Smithson runs it back 98 yards for a touchdown, had a crease up the middle and then broke outside, and nobody was fast enough to catch him. He takes it 98 yards for the touchdown. So offense doesn't have to score for Washington State. You got a defensive touchdown, you got a special teams touchdown, and you will have another defensive touchdown later. Then Washington State will score a 23-yard Nakia Watson touchdown catch, set up by Josh Kelly, 3 catches for 44 yards on the drive. Then with 3:48 left in the second quarter, Washington State's Cam Ward scores a 1-yard touchdown run, set up by Josh Kelly, 21-yard catch. Then Washington State scores a 2-yard Cam Ward touchdown run, set up by Josh Kelly, 51-yard catch. And then the only notes I got for the second half is that Colorado, again, only scores 1 touchdown in the second half. Washington State scores another Brennan Jackson 74-yard fumble return touchdown. So that makes 3 touchdowns, not from the offense, which is good enough to beat Colorado alone. Colorado gets dominated, like I said earlier, and Washington State only scored 1 touchdown offensively in the second half. So pretty much Washington State put it on cruise control in the second half. Defense made another play, got another tug, and Colorado is now ineligible for bowl games. You have to get 6 wins. They are 4-7 with 1 game left against Utah. Don't see them winning that game, so it wouldn't have mattered. But yeah, Colorado is now out of bowl contention. I think the only way they can get a bowl is if there's not enough bowl teams, and then maybe somebody asks them to be a part of a bowl. But I don't think that's like rare. I don't see that happening. So Colorado will play his last game next week, and Deion will have to hit the recruiting heavy, especially in the trenches, for the next season. So that's it for the recaps I got for y'all. Now on to our Saturday previews. But before I do my Saturday previews, oh my God, I did not notice that my laptop was about to die. So I'm gonna try to talk to y'all as I'm charging my computer. It's kind of unprofessional, but I'm so sick that I forgot to charge my laptop. So I'm gonna grab my notebook and I'll be right back. I'm so sorry. So 10th ranked Louisville plays Miami tonight. And honestly, Louisville was favored by 1.5 points. That has now changed. Now Miami at home is favored by 1.5. The line has swung. So anybody likes Louisville, now's the time to hop on it because you can now catch them as a dog. So for Louisville, they got to continue hitting explosive plays. That's a big part of Louisville's offense, hitting the explosive play. Force the Tyler Van Dyke interception. Tyler Van Dyke has 12 picks on the year. No Jack Plummer interceptions, even though it's bound to happen. 9 picks on the year for him. Feed Jawad Jordan, who has 976 yards and 11 touchdowns on the year. Again, big play, home run hitter, explosive runner. Whenever they need a play or whenever they win, which is every game but one, look at Jawad Jordan's stat line and you can see why they won the game. And put pressure on Tyler Van Dyke. Louisville has 27 sacks, which is amazing. Louisville defense has been stepping up. For Miami, take care of the football. Again, TVD has 12 picks, so it's self-explanatory. Can't throw picks. They have to win the turnover battle. When you have 2 interception-happy quarterbacks, picks are bound to happen, so you just got to make sure you make more plays on the opposing team quarterback than they make on yours. Stop Louisville explosive plays. Again, the game against NC State was close because there were no explosive plays. They lost to Pitt. I don't know how many explosive plays they had in that one. I didn't watch it. But if I go back and look, it probably wasn't very few. 2 out of the 3 receivers for Miami have to step up between Xavier Restrepo, Kobe George, and Jacoby Young. Jacoby Young and Kobe. Oh, my God. Why am I always mix it up? I think it's Kobe Young and Jacoby George. 2 of those 3 guys have to step up. And they got to contain Jack Plummer. Don't let him use his legs. Force him to keep throwing the ball. Good things happen both ways when they throw the ball for their offense and your defense. Again, last week, through the pick 6, they got Virginia right back in the game. So don't allow Jack Plummer to use his legs. With that being said, I'm going to take Louisville in this one. I just don't trust Tyler Van Dyke. I don't. I trust Jack Plummer a little bit more. I trust Louisville's defense. I trust Louisville to hit the explosive plays. Just don't trust Tyler Van Dyke at all. I like Miami's receivers. I've been talking about them a lot this year. I really do like the receiving core they have. Their defense, Cam Kinchins, I do like him. I do like the defense a little bit. I just like Louisville's defense a little better. So I'll take Louisville on the road to win this game. And I believe if they win, they punch their ticket to play Florida State in the ACC championship game. My next game, I have an American Conference showdown because this is huge. SMU loses this game, it may knock them out of the contention for the American Championship. They are also undefeated in the American right now. So the American League has 3 undefeateds. And when I mean undefeated, I don't mean their overall record. When I mean undefeated, I mean their conference record. Because in conference play, that's what matters. Your overall record obviously matters a little bit because your conference record will be good and it will match. But if you're like 10-2, but 8-0 in conference versus a team that's 11-1, but 7-1 in conference. Oh, hold on, I gotta make it make sense. Hold on. So I said 8-2. So 9-1, but they're 7-1 in conference. You would be above them because your conference record is better, I believe. But it kind of doesn't work out like that. All right, hey Joe, that was not me. I ain't say that. I did not say TVD would be a top QB. That wasn't me. Hey, blame Miami fans. Well, you can blame my boy. That was a Miami fan. I ain't know what to expect from TVD. But it's something like that. I could be explaining it a little weird, but your conference record, all in all, is what matters. So in the American Conference, we have right here, we have UTSA at 7-0. Tulane at 6-0. You got SMU at 6-0. Memphis at 5-1. So as the conference championship works, as y'all know, it's the top 2 teams. So this game right here, if Memphis wins to go 6-1, SMU 6-1, they leap over. They leap over SMU, go to 6-1. However, Tulane would still be undefeated, and I think they play like who Tulane play. I think they play FAU. So winnable game there. And then Tulane at UTSA could essentially be a rematch. I mean, a championship preview, because the championship game in the AAC isn't at a neutral site; it's at the number one's overall seeds home arena, so home field. So, say for example, Tulane wins, but UTSA beats Tulane next Friday. UTSA will now host the American Conference Championship game against whoever the two seed is, which would probably be Tulane. So that's how that works. I know I just rambled, but going back, so SMU, Preston Stone continue to light it up. He's been playing well lately. Their offense has been putting up a lot of points. They have to force a Seth Hannigan turnover. Seth Hannigan has 8 picks on the year. SMU defense has 9 picks on the year. So something has to give there. Feed Jalen Knighton, who has 640 yards and 5 touchdowns. The offense has to continue to light it up. They have 40.5 points per game, which is 7th in the country. And they have to stop Blake Watson. Blake Watson is a huge part of Memphis offense. I really love Blake Watson as a running back from Memphis. Like I talked about before, he's really good at making people miss. So they have to find ways to stop him and bring him down. For Memphis, has to play a full game today. The last few weeks, in my opinion, for Memphis has not played a complete game. They either have a really good first half and like a really bad second. Last week, I believe, no, North Texas wasn't last week. The North Texas game, no, not North Texas. That game was the first half complete, bad second half. They had a Charlotte, that's what it was. Charlotte first half, they allowed Charlotte to score way too many points. Charlotte was up. Second half, they come back, storm back, and win. I think Memphis needs to play a complete game against SMU, or it's not going to work. Feed Blake Watson was 909 yards and 12 touchdowns, Got to find Rock Taylor and Demir Blakehamsey, 2 premier wide receivers for this Memphis offense. And they have to put pressure on Preston Stone, but they only have 19 sacks. They got to find ways to get back there and get him on the ground, get this offense off the field. With that being said, I will take SMU to win, even though they're on the road. SMU, Memphis are normally close games and normally a good one. I trust SMU's defense over Memphis's defense. Missed this point right here. Their defense needs to get some stops because their defense gives up 28.9 points per game this season, which is 94th against the country. Memphis defense is 94th in scoring defense against the country, going against the 7th scoring offense in the country. So give me SMU to win this game. Next, I got Rutgers at 12th ranked Penn State. Oh, by the way, you catch these games noon, Saturday at noon. The Louisville game is on ABC. SMU Memphis game is on ESPN2. This Rutgers Penn State game is noon on Fox Sports 1. For Rutgers, excuse me, I got to bring the score up. There we go. Rutgers, Gavin Wimsatt has to be better through the air. I've been saying it all year. I don't trust Gavin Wimsatt through the air. He has to be better because the Penn State defense is going to stop the run, which goes into my next point. They have to find a way to get Kyle Monangai going. He has 942 yards and 7 touchdowns. Again, the best player on this Rutgers offense. But they have to find a way to get going. Keep Penn State. I agree, Joe. I definitely agree. Keep Penn State offense behind the chains. That's more so because Drew Law has not shown me nothing all year, which, again, to my next point, get to Drew Law, get him on the ground. That's a great way to keep the offense behind the chains, getting sacks, stopping runs. So you got to get him on the ground. They only have 18 sacks. And open up running lanes for Gavin Wimsatt because Gavin Wimsatt can't run. He needs to improve through the air, but one thing he can do is still run the ball. So have to find ways to get him involved. Maybe that might shift Penn State's defensive attention. Maybe they get an extra guy on the quarterback. It leaves another allows you to block up some things to where you might have the advantage now. So a read option, you run a read option, quarterback might keep it once. Now you got a guy on the quarterback. Now the running back has a lane, something along those lines. So for Penn State, Drew Law still has to be better. I haven't seen much from Drew Law all year. I know coming into the year, Penn State fans, Drew Law era is here. We finally got rid of Sean Clifford. Now we can really prosper. And I just haven't seen it from Drew Law. Forced a Gavin Wimsatt interception. Gavin has 6 on the year. The defense has 10. So this defense can get a little greedy. They do have guys like Dede Hardy and Kalen King. So no shocker there. Keep Rutgers' offense behind the chains because that forces Gavin Wimsatt to throw the ball. And the more times he throws, the more opportunities for interceptions. Get the ball to Keandre Lambert-Smith, their best receiver, with 651 yards and 4 touchdowns. And lastly, stop Calvin Mungai, which is self-explanatory. He's the best player on Rutgers offense. And with that being said, I'm going to take Penn State. But like Joe said, I do think Rutgers will play it close. I am thinking about taking the Rutgers in the 20.5 points. Rutgers defense is no slouch. They're a really good defense. Offensively, they leave a lot to be desired, but so does Penn State. So it might be a defensive slugfest. I don't know what the under is. You can look that up real quick, but an under might be in play too. Just my little 2 cents. If the under isn't too crazy, I do have principles where I stay away from certain unders, even though they hit. I just feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable taking them. And this one is at, well, my FanDuel just glitched. This one is at, where is Penn State? 40.5. Under 40.5. That's respectable. If you think Rutgers is going to cover the 20.5, I might dabble with the 40.5. If you want to be safe and buy it, the 42.5, I'm not mad at you there. But 40.5 is a pretty good under in this game. My next game I have Utah, 22nd ranked Utah at 17th ranked Arizona. Tonight, well today, 2:30 on Pac-12 Network. For Utah, Bryson Barnes, can he continue to stellar play? He's been playing really well lately. I know Washington, he had a couple picks, but he's been able to put points on the board, which has been Utah's Achilles heel throughout the season. Have to get to Noah Fafita. Utah has 30 sacks on the year, which is really good. I think the league leader is 37, 38, which is Texas A&M. 30 sacks is right there. Sion Vaki has to play both ways. Again, dynamic guy who has been playing both offense and defense. He's been playing running back. He's been playing receiver. He's been playing safety. You got to get him involved on both sides of the ball. Yeah, that's funny. Stop Jacob Cowing and Tara McMillan, the two best receivers. They've been going crazy. I've been liking Jacob Cowing since last year when he played with Dorian Singer, and McMillan was with him too. But they just been on a whole nother level since Dorian Singer left to SC, just on a whole nother level. Slow the game down. Utah has to slow the game down. They're 16th in scoring defense in the country. They only give up 17.8 points per game. They slow it down, make this a low-scoring affair. It bodes in Utah's favor. Now for Arizona, Noah Fafita has been great. He's been great ever since he came in for Jaden Delora. He's been nothing short of phenomenal. He's the reason why Arizona is now at 17th overall. Still got to feed Jonah Coleman, however, who has 744 yards and 3 touchdowns on the year. Had a really big game against Colorado last weekend. You got to get him his touches. Can Arizona keep up their average against Utah? They average 31.1 points per game, going against a really stout Utah defense led by Cole Bishop and the boys. Can they stop Bryson Barnes? Which, I mean, I still don't know if I'm really sold on Bryson Barnes, which I don't have to be, because after these next 2-3 games, it's back to Cam Rising. He's coming back. So Bryson Barnes is just a fill-in until Cam Rising comes back next year. And then they got to feed Jacob Cowing and Tara McMillan, who has 18 touchdowns combined on the year. Cowing has 10. McMillan has 8, that's a lot of touchdowns. That's up there with a lot of the receivers. It's probably up there with Luther Burden and Theo Weiss. Probably up there with Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas, who I would bet money. I don't know off top, but I would bet money they lead in receiver duo touchdowns. Yeah, man, that's a really good duo right there. But I'm gonna take Utah. I think I trust Utah's defense a little bit more. I know we're not at Rice Eccles. We are in Arizona, but I think Utah is. We've seen Arizona struggle a little bit with Colorado. I think they're gonna struggle with Utah. I think Utah can get up some points. I think Bryson Barnes can get up some points on his defense. With Vele, with Jaquandon Jackson. I know I just butchered his name. I think it's Jaquindon Jackson, the running back. Sione Vaki, if they decide to put him on offense. I just think Utah can put up enough points to beat Arizona. My next game I have for y'all, number 1 overall ranked. They finally leaped them. Georgia at 18th Tennessee, Saturday, 3:30 on CBS. Now, for Georgia, Carson Beck has been phenomenal. Again, I know I said Jalen Milroe gets better every week, but Carson Beck gets better every week as well. And that's scary because Carson Beck looks really good. Get to Joe Milton. Georgia honestly only has 22 sacks, which is kind of surprising because teams go down. Well, I wouldn't say most, but teams have gone down against Georgia late, which allows Georgia to pin their ears back and go after quarterbacks. So 22 sacks seems kind of low for me for a Georgia defense, but it's not bad in comparison. Just for their standard, I think it's a little low. Stop Jalen Wright and Dylan Sampson. Now I say that because Joe Milton, when he's forced to beat you, I just don't trust it. If you stop the run game and make Joe Milton have to beat you, I don't trust it, especially against this Georgia team. So yeah, just force Joe Milton to have to beat you. Again, he had a great Orange Bowl. Hasn't really translated as much to the entire season. He was, I don't want to call him a flash in the pan, but it's kind of what it looks like. Feed Ladd McConkey. Ladd McConkey has stepped up huge in the absence of Brock Bowers, which Brock Bowers is back now. He is back, but I think the games Brock Bowers has missed has done wonders for Ladd McConkey's confidence. Ladd McConkey's on the field, so got to feed him. And still run Dewan Edwards, who has 692 yards and 10 tuds. Some boys been balling for Georgia. Got to get him his touches, especially against Tennessee. For Tennessee, Joe Milton will have the ball, which I don't trust. Even at home, I don't trust it. Have to establish the run to help Joe Milton, which I think Georgia will do a good job of shutting it down. Squirrel White and Ramil Keaton has to step up. They got to step up for Joe Milton. However, they do have to find ways to get open quickly, get open down the field, so Joe Milton can show off the rocket arm that he does have. They got to get to Carson Beck, which Tennessee has 33 sacks on the year, so not too far off from Texas A&M, which again leads the country. Like they're like 4 sacks off of Texas A&M, and you have to force turnovers, which this defense has 10 of them. Forcing these turnovers will, get you extra possessions, get the home crowd involved, momentum, things like that. But yeah, I'm taking Georgia. I'm taking the 9. Ooh, I never put the ticker up here. That's on me, fellas. Here we go. No, I'm on wrong one. My fault. I do have it. My bad. So y'all can see the line, see the spread. I am taking Georgia. I would take the Georgia minus 9.5. I'm taking it. I know I normally don't go against home dogs, but I'll make an exception for the Georgia Bulldogs. I'm gonna go ahead and take that minus 9.5. It was at minus 10.5, so it went under a key number too. That's why I'm gonna also take it. Yeah. So my next game I have for y'all, I'm gonna let this rock for a little second. I got North Carolina, 20th ranked North Carolina at Clemson, Saturday 3:30 on ESPN. For North Carolina, they gotta run Omarion Hampton. They gotta get him ways to get the football, get him in open space. He has 1,236 yards on the year, 13 tuds. He's becoming one of college football's best backs in the country. He's having a phenomenal year for the North Carolina Tar Heels. A lot of people, you probably wouldn't have thought that with him, British Brooks, Drake May, with Tez Walker now being there, McMillan. I always say Josh Cephas and Josh Nesbitt, and I know Bryson Nesbitt. Josh Nesbitt is from something. I have to figure out what that name comes from because when I just talk about Nesbitt, it comes up that first. But all those guys. But Omarion Hampton is having an amazing year. Tez Walker has been great ever since he's been declared eligible. He did have the one mediocre game, but other than that, on the year, he has 600 yards and 6 tuds, which is phenomenal because he didn't start game 1. I think he started game 5 or game 4. Drake May, no interceptions, cannot throw picks. I know Clemson defense they always got a defense. Cannot throw picks to this turnover-happy defense, led by Jeremiah Trotter. Forced a Cade Klubnik pick, however. This defense has Cade Klubnik has 7 interceptions. Keep Clemson offense behind the chains, which forces Cade Klubnik to throw the ball. I still don't trust Cade Klubnik. I know he had a good game against Notre Dame, and everybody maybe Clemson offense turns it around. Did the same thing against Florida State, and the offense reverted. So I gotta still see it from Cade Klubnik. Now, for Clemson, can they keep the scoring going? Again, Notre Dame had a good scoring game. Last week they had one, but I think that was against Georgia Tech? I think that was against Georgia Tech. That's what I want to say they played last week. Give me 1 second. They play Clemson, scat scores. Yep, Georgia Tech won 42-21. Clemson keep their score. I said that they have to establish Will Shipley and Phil Maffa, the two tandem. Will Shipley, again, one of the best backs in the country. Phil Maffa has been playing really well as well. Oh yeah, thanks for putting that, Jerry. Because now I got to remember to put this up. I let that rock for a little bit. Yeah, UNC is getting 7.5. Last I checked, Jerry. I do like that as well. I think I am taking the 7.5. I just don't trust Clemson's offense enough. I really don't. Contain Omarion Hampton. Enough said. 1,200 yards on the year, 13 touchdowns. That's a lot of their offense. They got to contain it. Have to get to Drake May. They do have 24 sacks on the year. Drake May can beat you. Do not give him time. He will pick you apart. And who will step up at receiver for Clemson? Will it be Bo Collins? Will it be Antonio Williams? Who will it be for the Clemson Tigers to step up and have a big game? With that being said, I am taking Clemson to win at home just because I think this is how I think it'll go. UNC will maybe have a last-minute drive, and I think Clemson defense will step up. Even though I don't trust Clemson's offense, I think they score enough to have a lead at one point in Death Valley at home. I just see their defense stepping up to make a play on UNC's game-winning, game-tying drive. So I'll take Clemson to win, but I will take North Carolina in the 7.5 points. All right, so my last afternoon game I got for y'all is a rivalry at the Coliseum. We have UCLA at USC. No team is ranked. Surprise, surprise. SC's last game of the year, they are unranked. They will probably not be ranked. Saturday, 3:30 on ABC. So today 3:30 at ABC. So for UCLA, who will start at quarterback? Will it be Colin Shalee? Will it be Dante Moore? Will it be Garber? Jesus, why am I blanking on his name? I think it's Gabbert. Ethan Gabbers. Yeah, Ethan Gabbers. Will it be him? Get to Caleb Williams. They have 36 sacks on the year, so they're tied for second place. We're led by Leatu Latu, 11 sacks on the year for the defensive men. Established Carson Steele, who has 745 yards and 6 tuds. A pretty good year from him. I really liked him out of Ball State. Really wish he could cross that 1,000-yard mark. He's going to have a really good opportunity to do some damage against this terrible SC defense. Take advantage of the 120th ranked scoring defense. SC gives up 34.6 points a game. That is terrible. Again, they're ranked 120th out of 130 FBS schools. Get the ball to Logan Lawyer, who has 502 yards and 4 touchdowns on the year. Him and Jermichael Studevant are the two best receivers. For SC, this is Caleb Williams' last home game, so it's going to be an emotional day going against a rival. So you gotta be ready. I know you're gonna be hyped. You gotta calm down, but you also gotta be ready for a fight. Marshawn Lloyd, get him the ball. He has 803 yards and 9 touchdowns to transfer out of South Carolina. He's been having a really good year, him and Austin Joyner. Get the ball to Taj Washington and Brendan Rice. Taj Washington is your deep threat. Brendan Rice is your touchdown scorer. Can this defense force some turnovers? Defense have to force some turnovers. They don't. They give up points most of the time. So they got to force some turnovers. And can't let the 69th ranked scoring offense get going. So, again, USC gives up 34.6 points per game on the year. UCLA averages 26.4 points per game. So, you can't allow them to get over their quota. I mean, sure, Caleb Williams can probably match, but this UCLA defense is actually pretty good. So, I wouldn't bank on it. I wouldn't count on it. But with that being said, I'm taking Caleb Williams in his last game. I'm taking SC. I'm taking him to win this game. He's going to go out with a bang. He's going to go out being his rival. I don't believe if a certain team draft me, I'll come back to college. No, he's gone. There's no point of you coming back. The only thing you can probably do is try to win a national championship. And Lincoln Riley has shown that with this team, there will be no defense. So no point of you coming back. Go to the league. Think he wins his last game. Goes out with a bang. I don't know if he plays in the bowl game, to be honest. So this is why I'm calling it his last game, because I don't think he will play in the. I don't know if he'll play in this year's bowl game. So give me SC to win. Do think Jerry's right about a Heisman type performance. I don't know that over. I'll look for you, Jerry. I'll look for you about that over, because that is funny. Let me see. Because Washington and SC almost legit almost cracked over 67.5 by halftime. So let me look at that over for you. I got it right here. So the over under 63.5. You might be right. I can see something like I can see. Well, I don't think it'll be over by halftime, but I can see a 28-21 halftime score, which is 49, which is pretty darn close. So you might be right. My next game I got for you is 21st ranked K-State at 25th ranked Kansas. Saturday, tonight, 7 o'clock on FS1. The Sunflower Showdown. That's what they like to call it. Now, for K-State, they got established DJ Giddens in his run game, 859 yards, 7 touchdowns for DJ Giddens on the year. Will Howard has the ball. He has to have no interceptions. Will Howard has 21 touchdowns to 8 picks on the year. I would prepare for K-State. They have to prepare as if Jason Bean is playing. Now, it's speculation that Jason Bean will or will not play due to the injury last week. I know Lance Leipold said that he's not really giving any information about the Jason Bean injury, which go figure is college football. They almost never do. But he did hint at Jason Bean being able to play. Get the ball to Phillip Brooks, who has 554 yards and 5 touchdowns on the year. And they have to get the ball. Oh, excuse me. Hold on. I'm missing one. No, I'm not. They have to stop the Kansas run game. So Kansas run game is actually pretty explosive with Devin Neal, Daniel Highshaw, and Jason Bean whenever Jason Bean is playing. Jason Bean is a really good athlete, really good dual threat quarterback. So with all three of them, the run game is explosive. I know Kansas OC likes to draw up a lot of motions and a lot of things to get defenses all discombobulated, looking one way to hit you with a going in opposite directions. A lot of misdirection and window dressing with this Kansas offense. So Kansas, question mark, will Jason Bean play? Because that is huge. If he doesn't, I understand that the freshman last week got a lot of experience, but it's still a difference between him and Jason Bean. Because Jalen Daniels I don't think he's coming back at all. I think he's coming back next year. So it's either Jason Bean or the freshman. Establish Daniel Hassel and Devin Neal, especially if the freshman playing, you got to establish the run because that will help take a lot of pressure off his back. Get the ball to Lawrence Arnold and Quentin Skinner. To me, they're two best weapons on the offense. Have to stop K-State's run because I think if you stop K-State's run like a la Oklahoma State, it forces Will Howard to do too much, play hero ball, and I think the offense will self implode from there. And Kobe Bryant and or Melo Dotson to catch an interception for Kansas. That's creating a turnover. Will Howard has 8. I love the tandem of Melo Dotson and Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant was one of my favorite DBs in the Big 12 coming into the year. He's been playing nothing short of phenomenal. Melo Dotson on the other side has provided another, I don't want to say shutdown or lockdown, but he's provided another guy he's been balling. Let's just say that. But with that being said, I forgot to pick a winner. Now, I think I'll take Kansas at home if Bean plays. If Bean doesn't play, I'm taking Kansas State. Either way, I took the points with Kansas. But Bean plays, I'm taking Kansas to win at home. He doesn't, I can't trust the freshman to beat K-State. I know it sounds like a hedge, but it's really not. It's so hard to find injury information in college, especially for a 7 o'clock night game for a pregame show. It's hard. So I'm going to just stick with Kansas if Bean is out there, my pick is Kansas. If he's not, my pick is K-State. All right, we got 2 more games left. The first game of the 2 is Washington, 5th ranked Washington at 11th ranked Oregon State. Watch that game tonight, 7:30 on ABC. For Washington, they got to stop the Oregon State run game. That is a major part of this offense. Oregon State's ability to run the ball. Like I said at the beginning of the year, preseason, Damian Martinez was the Big 12. I mean, that's the Big 12, Pac-12, all first team running back. He's been playing like he's the backbone of this offense. Defense has to be better. Washington defense is giving up 34.3 points per game in the last 3 games. It's not good. It's not going to cut it. You having to keep overcoming that amount of points. Can Jake Westover get a red zone touchdown? Now, I know you're saying, Carl, they got Roma Dunzier. They got Jalen Pope. They got Dylan Johnson. Why you bring up Jake Westover? Because Jake Westover in the red zone is still a valuable weapon. We know what Roma Dunzier is going to do. We know what Jalen Pope going to do. Jake Westover can be an X factor in this game. Established Dylan Johnson, who has 790 yards and 11 tuds on the year. He's been playing really well for this Husky offense. And you got to keep Oregon State offense behind the chains. I don't know if DJU can go out there and win me a game like this. I don't know if he could do that. I know if he has a running game, the offense is pretty balanced. He could do enough to win, but I don't know if he could go out there and win me a game like this. Now, for Oregon State, they have to get to Michael Penix. They also have 36 sacks on the year, which is phenomenal. I know I had questions about Oregon State defense coming into the year because I thought they lost a lot, but to be honest, they've showed me that, hey, we can reload on defense. That was my question. Can Oregon State reload on defense? Has it reached that point of its I don't know what to call it because it's not a franchise. I guess this point of its era where they can reload on defense, and they showed me, hey, we can definitely do that, and they have. Damian Martinez will be huge. He has 1,024 yards on the season and 7 tuds. Again, balling for Oregon State. Have to force a Penix interception. This defense, again, another reason why I said they reloaded, this defense has 12 picks on the year. That's insane when you lose your top 2 corners, you lose a safety, Grant, and you come back and get 12 picks on the year. That's phenomenal. And they got to stop these NFL wide receivers. Again, Roma Dunzier, Jalen Pope. They got to stop these guys. If Michael Penix get going and he's going up and down the field, slanging the ball around the field, making it look easy, Oregon State, I don't believe, has an offense where it's built to come back to win. But like you said, Jerry, I do have Washington to win this game. I was all over the fact that Washington was dogs coming into this. I caught it when it was at 2.5-point dogs. I just took them straight up. I think Washington's offense will be pretty good. They did pretty well against Utah's defense. I really like Utah's defense. Washington has shown up. Now, they did have their slip-ups, but you rather have them early, where they only beat Arizona State 15-7. But I think this team is battle-tested. They put up 36 on a pretty good Oregon defense. They put up 35 on a pretty good Utah defense. I think they can put up in the 30s. I don't know if Oregon State will put up 30-plus points against Washington. So I'm going to take Washington. And my last game I got for y'all before we can all enjoy our college football Saturday is Texas, 7th-ranked Texas at Iowa State, Saturday, 8 o'clock on Fox. So tonight, 8 on Fox. For Texas, Quinn Ewers is back. He's back now. Malik Murphy held it down. He got his dubs, but Quinn Ewers is back. Jonathan Brooks, however, is out for the year. So who's going to step up at running back there? Jonathan Brooks was a major part of this offense. He had a phenomenal year, but now he's out with a torn ACL. Can Baxter step up? I almost called him Gary Baxter, like the DB from the Ravens, but I think it's CJ Baxter. Get the ball to Xavier Worthy, who has 757 yards and 4 touchdowns on the year. They got to get Rocco Beck on the ground, Iowa State quarterback. They have 26 sacks on the year, and they have to force a Rocco Beck interception. This defense has 11 picks on the year. So this defense, I said it before, this defense is really good. Led by Jalen Ford, the linebacker. This defense is really good for Texas. Iowa State, they got to make life hard for Quinn Ewers. Now, they only have 17 sacks on the year. They got to make life hard. They got to get there. I know why Matt Campbell coach teams normally have really good defenses. That's why it's one of my points or one of my keys, because Matt Campbell normally has great defenses at Iowa State. They normally win by defense and, well, with Breece Hall, it was running the rock and it was more so like NFL football. We're going to run the rock, we're going to play defense, and we're going to beat you. Have to establish Eli Sanders, who has 467 yards and 4 tuds. Again, Matt Campbell's blueprint is running the rock, which ain't really been that well this year, and playing defense. Have to slow down Texas offense led by Quinn Ewers. When Quinn Ewers is on the field, this offense is bad, tongue-tied. It's amazing. So, got to find a way to slow it down, which if any team with a coach can do that, it's Iowa State and Matt Campbell. Get the ball to Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel, the top 2 receivers for Iowa State. And they got to make this a low-scoring affair. So it's kind of like TCU, Texas last year, even though TCU won. They got to make this game 21-14, 14-14 going into the fourth. Something like that where they can hang around and possibly sneak away with the dub at the end. With that being said, though, I am taking Texas to win the game. Iowa State, they really do have a really good defense. I think Texas will make enough plays to win the game. I don't know about it being a one-possession game. The hook kind of scares me here because Iowa State, I do trust Iowa State defense a lot. I think I will take the -7.5. Another thing that scares me, home dog principle. So maybe I'll stay away from this game. Who knows? But I do like Texas to win this game. Now, with that being said, that's all I have for y'all today. Y'all go out there and enjoy y'all college football Saturdays. I will be back tomorrow morning to give y'all Saturday recaps. I'm on the wrong thing. Again, if y'all, you know what I'm saying, please leave a like, comment, subscribe on the video. I don't think we have any shows to announce today. I normally announce if shows are going live later after me, but I don't think we have anything. So with that being said, I'm gone. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.